Testosterone levels in men have declined up to 40% in the last few decades, and not because of aging, not because of genetics, and not because of weight gain. It's because of how we live, because of our environment, our daily rhythms, and the signals we give and don't give to our body. Because our environment and these signals are a mismatch for our biology. I know this firsthand. I'm in my late 60s. About 6 or 7 years ago, I was experiencing the impact of slightly declining testosterone levels. An MD client of mine put me on bioidentical testosterone. I was on TRT for 5 years. Gotta be honest, it was amazing. And then I had to stop because I got an elevated PSA test for my prostate. When I came off it completely, I realized something really important. TRT never fixed the problem. And I went through a year of pure hell trying to recover my ability to make any testosterone. See, the TRT only replaced what I wasn't producing. It never addressed why it was declining. But when I made the right lifestyle changes, I was able to raise my own testosterone just in the last couple of years from the 500s into the 700s without hormones, without medications, and without any supplements. A total T in the 700s is robust even for a man in their 30s. It's unheard of for most men in their 70s. This is about matching the signals in your environment with your daily life and with what your body and your biology requires for health and for testosterone. But before you can raise your testosterone, you first need to fix the things that are secretly suppressing it. And in this video, I'm going to show you the daily factors that are quietly suppressing your testosterone right now. And at the end, I'll tell you the exact lab test to request from your doctor or do on your own to measure the right things right now before you try to start to change anything. Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Berkowitz. I'm a chiropractor with over 40 years of clinical practice and advanced training in functional medicine. My work is built on one simple truth. The human body is designed to express robust health when the conditions are right. I work with men and women in midlife who are dealing with poor sleep, low energy, brain fog, weight gain, and who are frustrated with a medical system that focuses on managing symptoms instead of restoring function. I help people rebuild their metabolism, restore circadian and nervous system rhythms, and improve hormonal balance, and realign with the biological environment the body actually needs. You see, you can't heal in the same environment that created the problem. You have to change things. And this channel is about returning to biological truth. Subscribe to the channel if you want to learn how metabolism, how hormones, light, timing, and daily environment shape your health, and how small, practical changes can restore energy, clarity, and vitality. You see, health is so much simpler than you've been led to believe. Testosterone plays a bigger role in your health and vitality than you might imagine. And this holds true for both men and women. Testosterone is critical for a wide range of healthy body functions. Are you ready? Let's list a few of those. Some of this might surprise you. Keep in mind that this is just as important for women as it is for men. Women have higher testosterone levels than they do estrogen. If you were to make a list of all the things that you want emotionally and physically in your health, a lot of that would have to do with healthy testosterone levels. If you want to feel fully alive, if you're male and you want to feel like a man, the reality is you want a healthy testosterone level. You see, healthy testosterone is key to vitality and physical energy, to focus, to drive, to mental edge, mood, emotional stability, libido, sexual health, erectile quality and frequency, sexual performance, long-term health and production, insulin sensitivity, healthy cholesterol balance, preserving muscle mass with aging. Low testosterone shows up so slowly that it feels normal. You forget how you felt 10 or 20 or 30 years ago. Your previously higher testosterone levels fade into distant memory. And as testosterone falls, it typically shows up as increased body fat, lower energy, reduced libido, more challenge putting on muscle mass, slower recovery, a lower mood and emotional state, all related to testosterone. Most men assume this is the natural consequence of aging. They even have a name for it, menopause. I call BS. This is not healthy aging. The levels of testosterone do fall slowly with age, though the decline most men are experiencing now is nothing like what men experienced historically. If you were to compare your testosterone to the testosterone of a man the same age 40 years ago, it would be drastically lower. Here's a few sobering facts. From 2000 to 2016, young men 15 to 39 experienced a 25% drop in T. From 1982 to 2002, older men 40 to 59 experienced a 32% drop. In a review of 1,200 studies from 71 to 2024, showed a large decline in testosterone levels that couldn't be attributed to weight gain. What are men doing in response to declining testosterone? TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. This is being marketed like living up to your potential. It's less about health and more about marketing, lifestyle, and vanity. In the age of biohacking, there's nothing more powerful than hormone replacement, and no hormone more impactful than testosterone. The marketing and even the doctors prescribing TRT will tell you it's not about shortcuts, that it's about restoring balance, health, and performance. Is it really? I mean, really, is it? What TRT does is raise testosterone. Anytime you give the body a hormone that it produces naturally, you shut off the body's production of that. This shuts down your production of testosterone. And if you ever have to come off of it, you're going to be in dire straits. I know, because that's what I went through. You get off TRT and it feels like crap. I lived it. I went on TRT at the encouragement of a physician client of mine. We drove my testosterone levels from the 500s well into the thousands. Yeah, I felt great. Then I had to come off of it, and it was a year of pure hell. And that prompted me to explore why T is falling and to develop a solution. Just in the last couple of years, I'm in my late 60s, I went from testosterone level in the low 500s to over 700 today, and I'm optimistic I can raise it further. You see, hormone production is linked to metabolic health. You can raise your T, but if you don't address the underlying metabolic imbalances, you're leaving the cause uncorrected. And it's causing other problems besides low T, but all you're correcting is testosterone. Hormone production is one of the first things to go awry when your metabolism starts to drop and your metabolic health gets unhealthy. If you're not healthy metabolically, you're going to see it in your hormones first. First, the messenger hormones from the pituitary in the brain that sends messages for hormone production lower in the body. Then the downstream hormones get off. Cortisol, insulin, leptin, thyroid hormones, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, melatonin. You can see the impact this has. There's a reason why we're seeing a decline in testosterone over the past 50 years. There's a reason why your T is likely lower now than a man the same age was 40 or 50 years ago. It isn't age. It isn't weight. It isn't one single thing. And that's why TRT is not the answer. There's a reason and there's a place for TRT, but it's not the answer for most men. The answer is found in the drastic changes in how we live. It's a mismatch between our environment and our biology and what we need. Let me explain. There are plenty of lifestyle or environmental factors that impact testosterone. Let's go over a few of them. Chemicals are one reason for low testosterone. We are exposed to an abundance of chemicals day in and day out that the body has no way of processing. And some of the worst of these are called xenoestrogens. They're chemicals that mimic estrogen. They interfere with testosterone production. They come from plastics, from pesticides, from personal care products, cleaning products, non-organic animal products. They all contain xenoestrogens. Just 100 years ago, the only energy we were exposed to was sunlight. Light from fire and the magnetic field of the earth called the Schumann resonance. Now we live in a soup of man-made EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, Wi-Fi, 4G, 5G, LED lights, Bluetooth, computers, phones, TVs, electricity, and the list goes on and on. They stress the body, causing inflammation. They impact metabolic health, and they subsequently impact testosterone production. Diet also plays a part, but no more so than any other role. A lot of what we call food these days is actually a toxin to the body. Inflammation is the issue common to every single chronic degenerative disease and illness, including low testosterone. Inflammation from dietary toxins is caused by the wrong fats in our diet, too many carbs, too much sugar, alcohol, and the list goes on. They cause too much insulin. They cause insulin resistance. It drives up inflammation. Diet can impact your testosterone. One of the biggest issues in medicine right now is cholesterol. There's a big push around lowering cholesterol with statins. Statins are the single most profitable class of drugs in history. And I'm going to address cholesterol and statins in a future video. But here's the cold, hard truth. You need cholesterol to make testosterone. You need saturated fat in your diet. Too much unsaturated fat, industrial seed oils, can increase inflammation. Too much carbohydrates and sugar drives higher insulin and insulin resistance, and that drives inflammation. You also need vitamins D, A, K, and E to make testosterone. I already mentioned inflammation a couple of times. Everybody's scrambling to eat a non-inflammatory diet and take supplements like curcumin. In my opinion, a little bit of that is like trying to put out a fire with a squirt gun. Inflammation is the biggest driver of poor metabolic health and of lowered testosterone. When you're inflamed, your body shifts from health into survival. Testosterone is a long-term health strategy, so as inflammation increases, cortisol rises, your fight or flight nervous system gets activated, and all the hormones associated with long-term health are down-regulated, and that means testosterone. The most critical thing you do is supply your body with healthy reinforcement. You need deep sleep. You need quality sleep. You need quantity sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours. You need a good sleep rhythm. Different sleep and wake times throw you off. You get tired but wired due to cortisol. All of this interferes with sleep. Poor sleep drives inflammation, and it's a signal to down-regulate testosterone production. Poor sleep is a message that your body is in survival, and it's going to abandon the things for long-term health. So if you want to raise your testosterone, it's also critical to know where you're starting from and what your starting point is in order to plan a journey. Here are a few of the essential lab tests that I use personally in my metabolic resilience coaching program to track testosterone and metabolic health. High-sensitive CRP. This is the easiest marker of chronic systemic inflammation. Fasting insulin, fasting glucose, fasting leptin, total testosterone, free testosterone, sex hormone binding globulin, luteinizing hormone, and a DEXA scan to assess body composition and especially visceral fat levels. These are the core tests that I use and the best way to identify what's going on right now. What are your testosterone levels? What is your degree of inflammation? Are you insulin and leptin resistant? And only by knowing where you are now can you map out a strategy that helps you improve this. This helps identify possible causes of low T and the severity of what's going on. This can help reinforce how important it is to make the necessary changes to raise your testosterone. This helps guide the changes to be made, and it helps track how well those changes that you make are working in your body. Now, the goal of this video is to help you realize how important it is to understand what is driving your testosterone levels. Taking external testosterone in the form of TRT may raise your testosterone levels. It will, but it doesn't correct the underlying causes. You also now know some of the main factors that can quietly and slowly suppress your testosterone. And awareness is the starting point. You also have an idea of the key lab tests to request so you can assess what's happening right now before you make any changes. Now, make sure to subscribe to my channel because in the future, I'm going to show you how to elevate your testosterone levels naturally using the same strategies that I've used just in the last 2 years to move my testosterone from the 500s into the 700s without hormones or medications. And if you found value in this video, like it and share it so other men can understand what may be affecting their testosterone. If you want to dive deeper into learning about testosterone, what's lowering it, how to raise it, how to support it naturally, I've placed all of my testosterone videos into one playlist. Go ahead and check that playlist out right now, and I'll see you on the next video.